Okay, what's going on? Tripp Kramer here from trippadvice.com, coming to you live. We are live now here on a Tuesday afternoon, the Tuesday Live special, 12 p.m. Central. Happy to be here. Always happy to be here. Hello, everyone. Say hello in the comments so I can see what's going on. How do I become Tripp Kramer? Oh, you don't want to become me. You want to be you. That's what we're talking about today. Very exciting stuff. That's right. How to become who you want to be. Sounds kind of funny. I know. It always reminds me of the line from I Heart Huckabees. I don't know if you saw that movie. It was a movie from like 2005 or something like that. And they say, how am I not myself? How am I not myself? How am I not myself? Well, of course, you're yourself. But when I say how to become who you want to be, I like to say, how do you become version 2.0, right? So whoever you are, 2.0, Federer 2.0, Stephen Upchurch 2.0, Jojo 2.0, Mason 2.0, Random Guy 2.0, Eugene Fontenot 2.0, Tim Pathos 2.0. How do you become a better version of yourself? So it's not about being someone that you're not. And I know that a lot of people are against that. I was against that too when I was learning how to improve, getting into personal development, getting into learning how to meet women. I really wanted to not be someone different because I wanted people to like me for me. I wanted women to like me for me, but I also knew that I had to change. And I think that that's okay. It's okay to want to be someone who is not different, but the better version of yourself, okay? And so when we talk about the skill of meeting and attracting women, really, that's the same thing as learning any kind of other skill, right? The social skill, to me, can be comparable to things I've talked about in the past, like learning an instrument or learning a sport, learning any kind of skill. Are you the same person? Yeah, you're the same person. You're just a little bit better at something new. But it gets tricky when it comes to meeting and attracting women, right? It gets a little bit tricky because it's not like you're learning the guitar and you're still you. It's when you're socializing, it is kind of changing your personality a little bit. But again, it's an improvement, okay? So I'll give you an example in just a bit. I'm going to tell you kind of how I improved to kind of become the person I wanted to be, and I'll go on that in just a little bit, okay? But I want to give you a little rundown per usual. If you haven't been here before, then you see down below. I always get this wrong because when I look at the screen, I go like this. It's on the other side. Anyway, coachbytripp.com, and then you see a phone number down there. So what's the deal with that? Well, the phone number is going to be used for, in the middle of the show, I take calls. So if you have any questions, that's right, you're going to have the opportunity to call me. Don't call now, because the phone line is off, but you get the chance to call me and we get to answer your questions. And I can answer your specific question, give you a little bit of coaching. And then you can see coachbytripp.com. That's a URL where you can actually go and apply for real coaching with me, not just coaching here on the live show, but coaching with me over the phone or in person. And so I am here to help you in terms of meeting and attracting women in your town and becoming the 2.0 of yourself. So if you want to jump up to 2.0, the improved version of yourself, the guy who's social, charismatic, outgoing, confident, I help you do that with a personalized plan, a proven plan. And that is all through the coaching that I provide. So if you want to apply, just go to coachbytripp.com and we can help you. All right? Cool. So let me go into the example I was talking about. So what happened with me? Well, here's my kind of background, if you're interested in hearing, is when I was younger, I'm 34 at the making of this video. When I was younger, when I was in my teenage years, I wasn't shy too much with my friends. Like I had some friends and I was fun and outgoing with them. But if you ever put me in front of a pretty girl or a stranger, boom, blank face, scared. It was not fun, right? So that's kind of how that started. And then when I got into my college years, I started to open up a little bit, get a little bit more out of my shell, but really not that much from high school. And then when I came into my 20s, I really had to learn, well, not had to, I really wanted to. I had this burning desire to learn how to be better with socializing and meeting women, especially because I moved to a new city, and online dating, by the way, which probably wouldn't have been something I would have loved, wasn't really big at that time, and swiping wasn't big at that time. And again, like I said, even if that was around, I don't think that would have changed much because I don't think there's a lot of quality on those apps. But anyway, I had to and wanted to learn how to meet women in person. So I was already this outgoing guy, like inside and with people I was comfortable with. However, I had to learn how to bring that out to people that I didn't know. I had to learn how to bring that out. So I went out and I put myself through my own very lengthy, difficult process of going out and meeting women, lots of rejections, lots of failures. And I kind of broke myself down. It's like I broke myself down by putting myself through a very challenging process and then building myself up through just consistent practice of going out and learning and figuring out how to meet and attract women. In this process, my inner core, my true person started to come out and be more comfortable. Like I'm a very outgoing, goofy guy in general. But again, I wasn't able to be that way with people I didn't know, especially women I was attracted to. So I kind of had to metaphorically reach down and pull it out of me and do that through this whole process of going out a lot. So I kind of, like I was saying earlier, upgraded to this 2.0, okay? To this 2.0. And now I can go pretty much wherever, sober, talk to anyone, have a good time, be outgoing, and be fun. Did I change? Yeah, I changed a little bit. But more importantly, I was able to bring out my true self in front of anyone that I wanted. And I'm not saying this to show off, by the way, because I was not like this at all. Look at me, even right now, people always say to me, they say, Tripp, whoa, that's crazy. You go live in front of hundreds, if not thousands of people, every week. How do you do that and not get nervous? And it's kind of the same thing. It's a fact that I've done this a lot. I've practiced. I've gotten to the point where I don't, care as much of the judgment of other people. Someone said in the comments right here, you are a loser. I think that's more funny than it is hurtful. I don't really care. And I guess it's been more like I've calloused myself. So I've become the person that I wanted to be. I've always wanted to be that person. Now, don't get me wrong. There's ups and downs with that, right? So, for example, I've been in multiple relationships for the past, 8 years. I've been in and out of some long-term relationships. And what happens is when you've been in a relationship for a while, you kind of forget, I teach it, so I didn't really forget that much. But the process of going out and meeting women, it's whoa, you're starting from scratch again. So you kind of have to build yourself up just a little bit. But because I teach it and I've been used to it, it doesn't take me that long to get right back into it. But I guess the point is you can make serious changes with yourself if you put yourself through a process in terms of really just allowing yourself for a period of time to get embarrassed, to get judged, to just let people think whatever they want to think of you, to be okay with getting rejected, to be okay with screwing up, and be okay with going through a process that is going to test your limits. It's interesting because it's a different type of challenge when you're trying to learn how to socialize and meet women. Like I said before, we can look at different skills, right? We can look at instruments, working out, sports, things like that. And that tests a lot of your, athletic capabilities, your mental capabilities, but there's something different. There's something so different about doing it with going out and with the purpose of, trying to attract women. Because when you're doing this, this is a skill that you're doing in front of other people. So this is kind of like a rare one. And I think that's what makes it a little bit harder for people, because you're doing this not just in your bedroom all alone, playing the guitar, learning how to play, or going to the gym and no one's really looking at you and you're just kind of doing your own thing and everyone's doing their own thing. Or, I don't know. Those are, whatever skill you want to say. It's usually kind of just like you doing it by yourself. And you might be doing this by yourself when you're going out, but you are putting yourself in front of a lot of people, and that's hard. Yeah, Eugene said change is good. You got to get uncomfortable. And this is the one that's really uncomfortable. But in order to get to that point, you're going to have to kind of just say, like, you know what? Just for the next few months, I'm just going to give up my own judgments of myself and the care and worry about what other people think. Okay, so that's kind of like the process here. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that. If there's any questions, you guys can put it in the chat. But yeah, that's kind of like my history and how I got into all this and how it worked for me in becoming the person that I want to be, right? So you got to ask yourself the same question. Who do you want to be? Who do you want to be? Now, this is a big question because this can be anywhere from, being someone who's charismatic, who's being really social. This could be someone who, I don't know, maybe you want to do something bigger with your life. Maybe it's career change. Maybe you want to be someone who, has a lot of style. Someone who, I don't know, fill in your own blank. In fact, let's go to the chat right now. Like, who do you want to be? Just use some adjectives. Like, who do you want to be? The type of person. And it can be anything, by the way. This doesn't have to do with attracting women, but maybe it is. Like I said, I wanted to be more charismatic, more outgoing, more comfortable in front of people. Let's go to the chat. Tell me, who do you want to be? I know it's a big question. It's a vague question. Maybe some of you think about that. Maybe some of you are like, I've never even thought about that. Think about it now. Let's talk about this. Who's the person that you want to become? I'll say this now. I know this is going to sound very like Tony Robbins, positive coach, kind of cheesy. But I have to say, you can become the person you want to be. But the thing is you only will become that person if you want it bad enough. Some people say they want to be this and that. They want to do this for a living. They want to be, like I said, more social, outgoing. They want to be the person that attracts a lot of women. And they do. That's what they want. But they don't want it bad enough. And so they can't then become that person. Eugene said, I want to be a James Bond type of person. Now, I'm going to be a little critical here. I want you guys to be more specific. When you say James Bond type of person, what does that mean? Right? Like, what does that mean? What does that mean to you? Mason, you said, I can't even do it while drunk. When I was drinking in my early 20s, I couldn't do it either. I didn't know how to approach women. It was that bad. Okay, someone said Iron Man. Someone said me. I want you to be more specific, because the more specific you are, the better time you're going to have being able to become that person. Because when you say Iron Man, when you say a superhero, what does that mean to you? What are the traits of the superhero? What are the traits of the James Bond character? Gerson said, I want to be someone people look up to and want to emulate. Great. More specific. What is that? What does that look like? There we go. Jacob said, interesting, admired, charismatic. Cool. That's good. Everyone's saying superheroes. It's funny. You want to be Hulk. What about Hulk do you want to be? Because he's confident? Because he's buff? What is it? I like this. Lifestyle entrepreneur. You said, I want to feel relaxed in all social situations. That's very specific. That's good. Okay, Carlos said James Bond is competent, intelligent, emotionally strong. Even more specific. What does emotionally strong mean? Brandon said confident, assertive, cool, calm, masculine. That's James. Danny said I want to be decisive, a person that decides to go after what he wants without second guessing myself. That's a good one. It's also a very masculine trait, being decisive. So women will like that too. Federer, that's cool. I want to be the kind of guy you never have a dull moment with. What does that look like? Tell me, or at least think about, who is someone that you never have a dull moment with and what's making that happen? Tal says you want to make friends easily. That's good. Someone who doesn't struggle finding words through conversation. Now, Mahesh, you said Iron Man, the strong personality. But again, what does that look like? The more specific you can get, then you can actually reverse engineer what you're looking for. Right? So for just example, maybe someone says like, I want to work in business. Well, you're not going to be able to work in business because you're just saying a vague term. So what does that look like? What do you mean? What do you want to do in business? What would you like to do in that field? What does confident look like to you? What does charismatic look like to you? Let's go super specific. Calm and centered in my masculine energy. I want to feel cool in every situation. Proactive, that's cool. I want to be an influencer that changed people's life in a positive way. Cool. How do you want to do that, though? How do you want to do that? What does that look like? You know what I'm saying, guys? That's kind of what I'm getting at here. You got to figure out who you want to be on the most specific level possible. So then you know and you have a clear picture of what that looks like. Like you can close your eyes and you can visualize, this is who I am. Okay, this is what it looks like. Excuse me. This is me being confident. This is what confidence looks like. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm going up to a woman, I'm saying hello. This is what charismatic looks like. I'm talking about these topics of conversation. I'm feeling comfortable. What is my body language like when I'm comfortable? What does it all look like? What is it all pictured like in your head? What's happening in that moment? Like I want you to really, you don't have to do this right now if you don't want to, but take this exercise, really close your eyes and just figure out what does it look like. Tal says, confident to me is to feel comfortable in any social interaction. Go even more specific. What does that look like to you? Crackle said, I want not to be a procrastinator. Great. What does that look like? What does it mean when you're not procrastinating? That means maybe you're making a list of things that you need to do and you're putting it in your calendar and you're tackling it. Like really visualize it. And the reason why you're visualizing it is because that's going to give you the answer of real life what you need to do. Specificity is the most important because the more specific it is, then you can picture it. Or you can say, okay, I don't know yet what confident, charismatic, funny looks like. So then you close your eyes and you visualize, what does that look like? What does that look like to me? This is reverse engineering so you can get to that point. Okay? Jacob said, making smart jokes, grabbing the attention in a room, speaking strong and loud, having open body language. Great. That was the best one I've heard so far. Because now I can picture that. So say it in a way that someone else can paint and literally take a paintbrush and paint a picture of it. So that it's so specific that they're painting the exact picture that you have. Very good. Guys, awesome. You guys, this is really cool. This is really cool. You guys have given some really good thoughts here. So I know, again, this is kind of a vague topic, how to become who you want to be. But I think that we got the steps down now because it's this. There's no right answer. You can be whoever you want to be. If you have a strong enough desire to be that person, you can become that person. If you want it bad enough, you'll put the work in to get there. To know exactly where you want to be, picture it, be specific, visualize it, see what it looks like, and figure out, how do I get to that? That's your point B, right? The visualization in your head, that's point B. Right now, you're at point A, okay? So point A, point B, you're trying to get to here. You know what this looks like. Now you can just reverse engineer and figure out, okay, since I know what it looks like, how do I make that happen? How do I get to that point? And that's going to take you coming on lives, asking questions, reading books, watching videos, doing coaching, right? I think the hardest part about all this is really figuring out what you want. Because when you figure out what it is that you want, it might be challenging to get there, but at least you know that there's a path. and you have an actual path and steps to take. What happens is people are kind of unsure of where they want to be. They're not sure. I wasn't sure either. It took me a while to get really clear. I just knew like, I wanted to attract women that I wanted. I didn't really know what that looked like. I wasn't really sure how to even get there. But, it took a long time to figure out that kind of process. Luckily, now for you guys, I've been studying this stuff. I've been talking about it over and over and over, so I can give you that shortcut. That's the path. That's what it looks like. Caleb asked, who do you want to be? Well, it's interesting. I've come to a place where I'm very comfortable with who I am, and I've gotten to the place where I've become charismatic, comfortable in front of people, more outgoing. I've gotten to the point where I've attracted the kinds of women that I wanted. I think now, I've been doing Tripp advice now for technically like 8 years, but a little bit longer than that really, because I've been giving advice since 2009. But yeah, I think now I want to be the person who's reaching out to more people than ever, right? With the YouTube channel, with the podcast. It's like my goal is, and this isn't, by the way, it has nothing to do with fame or ego. I'm just trying to get my message out to as many guys. Like that's my mission. So however that looks like, that's connecting to who I want to be. That's at least what I know what I want. That's why I've started to do more lives. If you've noticed, I think the past year I've increased my lives because this is now a different way that I get to talk to you beyond just doing my normal podcasts and videos where I don't get to connect with you. I've been starting to do more coaching, which is why I'm advertising it nonstop. That's another way I get to connect with more people and get my message out there and help people because I have that desire. And I have a desire to make this as big as possible. A lot of people ask me, they go, Tripp, are you ever going to give advice to women? Like, you got the guys. Like now, start the other business and go for the women. And I say, no, I don't want to do that because I still have such a longer way to go. I still want to help as many guys as possible. People say, well, no, now you can teach people how to build a YouTube channel and you can teach people how to make an online business because you've done that. No, that's great. I've done those things, but I want to continue here. I want to focus. I want to master this. I've been doing this now for 8 years and I still have so much more to go. To master is to focus on this. And that's what I'm trying to do. So that's what I'm trying to do. That's my goal. That's who I want to become. I want to become a master at being able to give advice and make actual changes in people's dating lives. And I'll be more specific because I told you to be more specific. So I'll be more specific. I want to get guys girlfriends. I want to get them to lose their virginity if they want to have one-night stands. I want them to have the exact dating life that they're looking for. And with my thing, it's about being genuine and still a good person. So it's not about teaching guys to get whatever they want in their dating life and screw everyone else, but how do you make the world a better place by you inserting yourself in it and still attracting women, but leaving women better than you found them? That's an old quote that I heard a long time ago, actually, in the pickup industry, which I really liked. Leave a woman better than you found her. Because I'm a golden rule kind of guy. Treat other people how you want to be treated. So it's not about going out there using women and doing the whole, MGTOW stuff, but really, how do you treat people with respect while having the dating life that you want? So that's my answer. So here's what I want to do now. I want to go to the lines. So I'm going to open up the lines in just a second. Someone said, how's your coaching over the internet work? Well, what I do is you apply for coaching. I reach out to you on the phone or over email, and we talk about coaching and see how it can be a good fit for you. If it is, it's phone coaching or in-person coaching. And we create a customized plan for you to go out and meet and attract women, even if you're very shy. Okay, so we help you do that. I have very specific techniques, stuff that I cannot share with you right now, stuff that you'll only be shared with if we do coaching, only because it's going to be very specific to you, and it's not the same for everybody because it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. So if you want to apply for coaching, you want me to help you specifically, and I can because this is what I do. This is my life. This is my purpose. Go to coachbytripp.com and apply today, and we'll help you get there. Okay? All right. Opening up the lines right now. Let's do it. It's open. Call 310-598-3384. Also here to answer your questions over chat too. If you want to do a super chat, that will guarantee that I'll answer your question. I'm out of breath today. I feel like I'm keep on catching my breath. I wonder if it's the allergies out there. Wow, that was very nice. Someone gave a super chat and said, just wanted to say thank you. Your videos have helped me quite a bit in the past. Thank you very much, Onion Man. That's very kind of you to say that. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. And Onion Man, if you're over 18, you should apply for coaching. So apply for coaching. Coachbytripp.com. And let me help you. Okay? So again, phone lines are open. Here to take your calls as we do. We got a bunch of people listening. And if you have a super chat, I will definitely answer your question. How would we pick up girls on the college campus? Ooh, so easy. Girls are everywhere. They're on the quad. They're at bars. They're walking around. It's like the easiest time to meet women during the day because they're just walking to class, back from class, going to lunch. They're everywhere. Yes, I do coach people on how to get someone back. Yes, I do. There's no guarantees, of course, but I do help you get someone back, an ex back, things like that. So anything revolving dating, attraction, I help with. Everything. So you should apply, but you got to be over 18. I do not help under 18. Sorry, 18 or over. But I do have a video for high schoolers. It's on my channel. You should watch it. I should maybe put that in my podcast now that I think about it. So people who are in high school listening should get a chance to listen to that. Anyway. Lines are open. 310-598-3384. Call in and talk to me. When we call, you won't reveal our number. No, I will not reveal your number. Don't worry. You can even lie and say a different name, but you do have to be over 18, and I can tell if you're not over 18. There's some guys who call and they say they're 18. I can tell you're asking a question that feels very young. Jim James, I acted too needy with a girl. She said it would be better if we didn't contact each other. I went no contact for 42 days and contacted her. She read my message but is not responding. What do I do? Jim, leave her alone. It's over. Leave her alone. Okay, here's our first call. What's up? What's your name, age, and where are you calling from?
Hey, Tripp, this is Sebastian from New Jersey, and I'm 26.
I get a lot of guys from New Jersey. Have you called in before?
Yeah, I called in like 2 weeks ago.
Cool. Remind us what happened with you.
So one of the things that I was talking to you about last time was how can you attract women and escalate to the point where you send them, like, try to get them home. That was what was my question before, but today I have something different. Like,
is it more specific?
How can you have? Yeah, today is more specific.
Okay, good.
So how can you have multiple women while still going after your goals and your purpose in life?
I half understand that question. What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
So basically, is that right now I have two girls that I've been talking to, that I've been dating, and I'm also trying to get to the point in my life where I'm really financially stable and the place that I'm at right now. But they're taking like my resources, like money and time. So how my question is how, like, to balance those things out.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so first of all, how can you explain how are they taking your money? You paying for everything?
Well, I wouldn't say, yeah, I'm paying for everything, but I'm also learning how to get them to pay for stuff too.
Okay.
You know, but
yeah. So,
but I am a gentleman, so I do like to pay, and you know.
How old you say you're 26?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So here's my thoughts on this. If you have a lot of goals in your life, which it sounds like you do, right? You're trying to balance all these different things. You shouldn't be dating multiple women because dating multiple women is going to take up, as you can tell, a lot of your time. And so really you want to make sure everything is balanced. And by the way, this goes for anything else. If you feel like you're working too much and then you have no dating life and you want a dating life, maybe you got to figure out something where you can add more time to that. So you got to think about this. It's very simple. It's kind of what we're talking about earlier a little bit, being specific in terms of what you want. You got to think about what are all the things that you want in your life. So really quickly, just spit it out. What are all the things that you want, like your goals? Just like name 5 real quick.
Buy a house, um, have have a really nice car, be successful in my career, um, and help others.
Okay, cool. So first of all, you got to write all this stuff down. Okay, so you got to write all this stuff
Hmm.
down, and then you got to figure out what's priority. And I can kind of give you a hint of what's priority. What's going to be priority for you are the things that you feel are lacking. So, for example, right now you're dating 2 women. You're probably pretty good when it comes to the dating scene. Like you're doing okay there. It's like you kind of got that down. Now I would focus on the thing that's not getting your attention. So it sounds like you are pretty career focused, like, and you have some financial goals. You want to get a house, you want to get a car. So maybe it's career that needs more attention. But this is where it gets tricky, and you kind of got to be like a scheduling ninja. Okay, so you got to figure
Yeah.
out on a practical level what needs more time, and then where are you going to put that time? Okay. So this is
Yeah.
just basic goal setting. So if you're thinking like, all right, I spent a lot of time with women. I got 2 girls right now. They're taking up a lot of my time. You got to either let one go or slowly kind of give both those girls less time, and you got to start focusing on other
Yeah.
things. That's one way to do it. There's a few different routes. So it's about really balancing everything in your life. Now another thing you could do is you can completely drop the women altogether. And you can say, all right,
Yeah.
I kind of got the woman part down. I know that if I want to, get a girlfriend or go out and meet women, I kind of have those skills now. So drop them, stop trying to meet new women, and ultra focus on your career. And do that for like 6 months to a year, maybe even a little bit longer. And then once that starts to grow and that starts working, then you can come back to, okay, you know what? Things are good. I'm starting to save up for the house. Like everything's kind of an autopilot right now with the career. I have a little bit more time to get back into women. So you can kind of, like, instead of juggle, kind of bounce back and forth between the goals and what you want to do and put a lot of focus and keep on switching ultra focus. So you're kind of like
Yeah.
building here. Okay, cool. This is built. Now let's go over here to something else. Okay, and let's ultra focus here. Build that here. And then you can kind of maintain those and then kind of come back to those a little bit. So I would say that's probably one of the best things you could do. But definitely if women are taking too much up of your time, and I know that guys get really excited because it's fun to get attention from women. It's fun to feel liked and attracted, and it's fun to have sex and get physical and all those things. But you got to be careful. Don't let that take over your life to the point where you're letting everything else die. Because if those
Yeah.
things die, everything else is going to start to crumble. Okay?
That's awesome, Tripp. I really appreciate it. And I have one last question. Um, let's say if I try to mix everything, put everything together, like try to help people, try to make more income, and also be with multiple women. So I was thinking of maybe starting like a YouTube or like kind of like a blog thing. What's like the best way to start it? Like you just do it, or like what? How would you like? How did you start?
Well, you got to be very
Like how would
specific.
you recommend?
You got to be very specific on what it is you want to start a blog or channel about. So my best advice to you is if you're going to do it, yes, start it as soon as you can, but what you need to figure out before you do it is this is like the theme of today's video. Get specific on what it is that you're trying to blog or vlog or write about or speak about or teach
Yeah.
or whatever it is. Be specific. So I knew from the very beginning that mine was dating advice for men. I even went more specific a few years ago and realized this is not just dating advice for men, this is dating advice for shy men, even though I help guys who aren't shy too. But the more specific you
Yeah.
can be, the better, because then you're going to hit an actual market of people who want to listen to you. You know what I'm saying? So know exactly what you want to talk about, get specific on it, and then execute.
Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot, Tripp. I really appreciate you. Have a great one.
Thanks, man. Thanks for calling. Cool. Guys, I'm still out of breath. What is it today? Ooh, maybe it's all those BCAAs I'm taking and it's making my heart pound. I'm working out in a couple of hours. That's another person I want to be, by the way, guys. I'm trying to get my eating and working out in order. I'm if you know anything about fitness, I have an ectomorph body, so it's just a little bit more challenging for me. Oh, look at this. What's going on? Someone calling from somewhere not in America. What's your name, age, and where are you calling from?
I'm Victor from Nigeria. Yeah,
Nigeria.
I'm watching you live, Steve. Yeah.
Cool, man. How old are you?
I'm 47 years old.
47 years old. What's your question?
Yeah, I just want to thank you for your videos. I subscribe to your YouTube channel. I've been watching it. I'm watching you live right now on how to be a better version of you. I just want to thank you. You've helped me a great deal. I just want to know, you do this every Tuesday?
I've been starting to do it every Tuesday at 12 p.m. Central, and I do it at Wednesdays around 6:37 p.m. Central. Yes.
All right. Okay. I'm going to keep calling. I'm going to keep standing by every Tuesday while I still keep watching your YouTube.
Cool, man. Awesome.
Thank you.
That's great. You're very welcome.
Bye.
Did you have any questions, or you just wanted to say hi?
Just want to say hi and thank you for now.
Well, you're very welcome, and thanks for calling, and it's cool to hear from someone in Nigeria.
Thank you very much. Bye.
All right, man. Take care. You guys are very nice. Thanks for calling in. All right. Lines are open. Someone called before. So if you want to just say hi, that's cool too. Happy to say hello. Also here to serve you. This is the time. I'm here to serve you the dating advice. Jacob said, yeah, BCAAs are good. Yeah, for repairing. Guys, get ready because I'm going to be filming soon in a new studio. All right, we got someone else calling in from not the United States. What's your name, age, where are you calling from?
Hey, Tripp. Yeah, this is Tim. I'm calling from Vienna in Austria, and I'm 31 years old.
From Austria.
And thanks for doing this. Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome, man. What's your question?
Yeah, I would first say something generic about me, and then maybe I can ask something specific. So I think I'm in general, a very well-read person, and I'm good when it comes to conversations, usually. But I kind of struggle to, then take things, take it forward romantically and physically. And to be more specific, this one girl, we met maybe few months ago, and we had a really nice conversation. But I was too shy for ask for the number. Never mind. But I somehow met her earlier, like a couple of weeks ago. Again, we had another great conversation, and this time, we ended up exchanging numbers, and then we met again. It went very well. But now she's kind of away for 3 weeks, and I just wanted to know, should I stay in touch, or how do I handle this?
So you guys, so let me get clear on this. So she's going away for 3 weeks. Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And tell me again, what have you guys done? Have you guys been on dates? Have you been physical with her? Give me what has happened in summary up till this point.
Well, I would just say that we had a couple of really nice conversations, but not exactly a date yet, because also when we met again, it was with another common friend, so we haven't really been on a date yet.
So are you in the friend zone with this girl?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. Not yet.
So
Because I've also been kind of clear or kind of, been given signs and stuff.
does she
So,
know? Does she know that you're interested in her?
yeah, I think so. Yeah.
You think so? Okay.
Yeah.
And now she's going away for 3 weeks. Here's what I want you to do.
Yeah.
Don't do anything. She's going to go away for
All
3
right.
weeks. Do not contact her.
Mm-hmm.
What is this going to do? This is going to make her be like, what's your name again?
I'm Tim.
Tim?
Yeah.
She's going to say, where did Tim go? What happened to Tim?
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be the way for her to chase you. And then when she's back, contact her. The only thing I would say is maybe once, like 2 weeks in, send her a text message, or maybe it's a week in or a week and a half in, whenever, somewhere in the middle of something interesting that you're doing. Text her with something interesting that you're doing. So it's not a lame way of getting in contact with her by saying like, hey, how's your trip? Or how you doing? It's just very, can be kind of needy. So what I want you to do is I want you to text her something interesting that you're doing. And if you're not doing anything interesting, don't text her at all. And then when she comes back, then get in contact with her to meet up with her again. But I want you to set it up as a date, okay? I want it to be more romantic. When I say romantic, I don't mean you bring her flowers and that kind of thing. What I mean is you set it up where it's something that could obviously be a date. So what's not a date? Well, I would say doing something. This is very specific to your case, by the way. Like doing something during the day or getting a coffee or going on a walk or something like that. Like that's, for this case, it's not datey enough. So it's like you got to go out and get a drink with her or go to dinner with her at night. Okay? So it's more of a date. And then I want you to make a move. You got to make a move by the end of it. She might reject you. She might reject you. But you have to understand that that is the risk that you have to take if you want to push this to a level to make her understand that you're interested. Because the longer you go without her knowing, the farther and farther into the friend zone you're going to be. So if you think that she knows that you like her and she's still interested in meeting up with you on this date, a dinner, a drink at night, then that's a good sign. So you wouldn't have to be too, scared to make a move. But you shouldn't be anyways. Either she's interested at this point or she's not. So that's what I would say to do.
Yeah. Cool. Got it.
Sound good, my man?
Thanks. Yeah. Sounds good.
All right. I'm going to take a next caller. Thanks for calling in, man. All the way from Austria. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thanks.
Ciao. Have a nice day. Bye.
All right. What's up? You're on the air. What's your name, age, where are you calling from?
This is David Bars, 23. I'm in Florida.
What's up, David? How you doing, man?
Doing pretty good, man. I just met this girl from Venezuela. We've been going out for the past 3 or 4 months, and I just find myself noticing her like coming to me and telling me about her life, but also telling everybody else about her life. And I guess I'm a little bit frustrated, but not really frustrated. Just just wondering why she would want to share that with me and also share that with everybody else. And I'm just asking you for your advice, Tripp.
Well, what do you mean? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with her? What do you mean sharing? First of all, be more specific. What do you mean sharing her life? Like just talking about her life?
Everything she shares with me, she shares with everybody else, with her friends.
Why is that a problem for you?
Is that a problem, Tripp?
I don't think so. Do you think it is?
Okay. Yeah, I think it is, because I feel like I'm not that important. I'm trying to be important in her life.
So you think that, so to you, importance is her telling you things that she doesn't tell other people?
I guess so. What do you think is importance of a woman, like to a man, I guess?
Well, this is what I think. I don't think it's so much about what she talks about. I think it's, you guys are dating?
Yes.
Are you having sex?
Yes.
Okay. So here's what I want you to understand. Okay, this is really crucial here. Understand that she can only be intimate and sexual with you. She cannot do that with her friends, right? So she has her friends, and then she has you. Okay, maybe she talks about the same things. Maybe she shares the same things. But there's one thing that her friends won't get, and that is the intimacy that's involved between you and her. So as long as that's happening, that is the most important. That is an opinion, but I also feel very strongly about it. Like, I almost feel like it's a fact. Like, I understand that it might feel good for you to, hear some things that, she doesn't tell other people or whatever it is. But really, the most important is the attraction and the sexual attraction that you guys have. She can't do that with anybody else. She can only do that with you.
And what are some of the ways, once you're actually in a relationship, how do you keep that sexual attraction growing?
Well, yeah.
That's a big question to ask, Tripp, but you're just a man.
So there's a lot of things you could do. First of all, keeping up with the actual sex in general, making sure that you guys are communicating about sex and making sure that you guys are on the same page and she's enjoying it. But that's just the sex itself. Then it's kind of like, now we're talking about how do you keep the relationship going where she's even interested in having sex with you, which means how do you keep it going where she's still attracted to you? And I think one thing, besides, the obvious answer that most people say is, communicating with your partner and things like that, and not being needy and things like that. But letting her know that, like, when she comes to you, like, you're there for her, and that you don't cause drama in her life. It's like you can be that rock for her, Women like that. They can come to like, okay, I got this guy David, and he's just my rock. Like, whenever I see him, he's just happy, he's optimistic, he's fun. We can be goofy together, but we can also have amazing sex together. Like, you're just like this awesome presence for her that she can really enjoy. You guys are spending time together, but not too much. Balance that out so she can have time to miss you. And I think the rest kind of falls into place. That's my very general, fast answer. Of course, we can get, there's full books written on this topic. But
yeah, thank you so much, man. You are awesome. I love the channel. I always watch your videos. Man, thank you.
Cool, man. Thanks so much. You're welcome. Thanks for calling. Good questions.
Bye.
All right. What's going on in the chat here? Update on my breathing. Still out of breath. But I'm alive. Looks like we got some conversation going on in here. People are talking. He wants her to talk and vent it more than usual. Guys, don't be mean. Be nice to the callers. They're actually putting themselves out there. What's up? What's your name, age, and where you calling from?
Hey, Tripp, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, my man.
Hey, I am Lee from Dallas.
What's up, man? What's your question?
Hey, this might be kind of a generic question, but I thought I've been wanting to ask it for a while. Like, so let's say you you see a lot of cute girls like in malls or outside malls or like even like the grocery store or something like that. But let's say they're like in a little group of like 2 or 3, because typically I think when people like are out in the mall, they're not really kind of thinking about trying to get a date or somebody to hit on them or something. They're really kind of like hanging out with their friends. And in my opinion, in my perspective, like they're not really trying to like pay much attention. They're trying to be with their friends, so their mind is not really like on like dating or something like that. But my question is, how would you approach women and try to, get their attention away from their friends to try to like, ask them out on a date? Because without it being like super awkward and random or something like that.
Okay, so first of all, you're making an assumption, which I understand where the assumption comes from, but you're making an assumption not based in any kind of fact, right?
Right.
You're saying that there are women out there who are at the mall, who are with their friends, and they just want to be with their friends. Now, I agree. There are women who are out at the mall, who want to be with their friends, and that's what they're doing. They're not expecting someone to come up to them. They're not expecting to meet a great guy. But you got to remember that a single woman still wants to meet a single guy. Most women are looking for a relationship or a guy, right? We can pretty much agree most women want to do that.
Sure.
But where do they want to do that? I actually would think that they probably would want to do that more at a mall during the day than some drunk guy hitting them at a bar. Now, I'm not saying don't go to a bar and meet women. I think a bar is a great place to meet a woman. But what I'm trying to say is I don't think a woman really cares that much of the venue in which she meets the guy that she wants to date. So I wouldn't assume off the bat that just because she's doing something that she doesn't want to meet you. Now, sometimes that is the case. Sometimes a woman is with her friends and she doesn't want to meet another guy. Sometimes she's having a girls' night and doesn't want to meet another guy even though she's single. But you don't know who wants to and who doesn't. A lot of guys that make that mistake is they make all these judgment calls and they come up with all these theories beforehand about what women are thinking when they don't actually know the truth. Because can we both agree that out of all the women who have ever gone to a mall, that there's at least one out of the millions and millions and millions, tens of millions of women who have ever gone to the mall in the history of life, can we agree that at least one of them would be interested in meeting a guy that day? Just one. Can we agree?
Sure. Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with that.
Right. So if that's the case, then that means that there's probably more than that, right? So,
Yes, sir.
so take away all that prior mindset and your thought process on what women are thinking. Don't ever assume anything that they're thinking. Just assume that you're an amazing guy and you have a lot to offer as an amazing dude. So why wouldn't a woman want to meet you? You should be confident enough in yourself that you're saying, I'm fucking amazing. Any girl, anywhere, anytime would be lucky to meet me. So I'm going to go over and give that opportunity to that woman, right? So that's the new mindset you need to have. Now, in terms of getting technical and how it works and how you're going to get their number, just go over and start talking to them. Maybe ask them a question, just being social, just going, hey, what's going on? Where are you guys from? Are you guys from here? Whatever, just talking to them, ask them opinion on maybe a store to go to. It doesn't even matter. Just get in there, get into conversation, be light, have fun. If they're not interested and you can tell that they're like not wanting to talk to you, okay, you walk away. Sometimes you're going to get in these conversations, though, where they're going to want to be social because a cool guy is coming over and talking to them and they don't mind the attention. And all of a sudden they realize, whoa, this guy's kind of cool. He's interesting. And we're having a nice conversation and he's not being creepy. And then from that point, you can just ask one of them for their numbers and say, hey, and by the way, this is after talking to them for at least 10, 15 minutes where they've gotten to know you, you kind of make this connection. And the one that you're interested in, just say, hey, I should get one of your numbers, but look at the one that you're interested in, get her number, and say, we should all hang out sometime. So that's the way to do it.
That makes a lot of sense, man. That pretty much answers my question, man. I appreciate the work that you do. I hope you continue to do it. And, yeah, man, you're the man. You are awesome.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. Thank you for the kind words, and thanks for calling in.
Appreciate it. That helped a lot. You have a good day.
Bye-bye. I think there's room for another caller. We're closing in on the hour here, but I think we can do another one. I think I'm able to get more breath here. Something happened. We opened up a little bit more. Someone said, go out thinking you are the prize. Yes, exactly. Exactly. A lot of guys think the opposite. They think, oh, how do I get that girl? Really, it should be like, how can this girl get me? How can she impress me? How can that girl show me that she's cool? I know that I'm cool, but I know that we live in a society where women aren't really doing the approaching. So whatever, I'll go over, I'll introduce myself. But now you're going over to introduce yourself to them to see if they're cool, not to make them see that you're cool. You don't need that validation. You already are. So it's just about being fun and interesting and you having a good time. I call that entertainment, entertaining yourself. Not them, entertaining yourself. I'll repeat that, entertaining yourself, not entertaining them. having a good time, and seeing if that girl's cool. Because don't just go for a girl just because she's pretty. Lots of pretty girls out there. Lots of pretty girls. It's more than that, right? Guys, don't forget, if you want coaching, coachedbytripp.com. I can help you specifically with your exact issues. So it's customized to you. Just go to coachedbytripp.com and you can fill out an application form. I will reach out to you through email or text message personally, and we can get on the phone and see if coaching is a good fit for you. Coaching is done either over the phone or in person. Hello, Uchicha Destiny. So it's done over the phone or in person, and we go over a strategy for you to go out and meet more women and have an active dating lifestyle. So by the time we're done coaching, you will be more confident. You will have a dating lifestyle that you actually enjoy. You'll be meeting beautiful women. You'll be more confident and charismatic. I already said confident. But the confidence comes through the practice. It comes through the competence, which we will help you do. It will help you become more competent in this area. Okay? What an hour. Good questions. We got another caller. This will be the last one. What's up, last caller? What is your name, age, and where are you calling from?
Hey, this is Nick, and I'm 18, and I'm calling from Georgia.
What's going on?
Yeah, got a deep voice. Hey, how's it going? I'm about to be going to college pretty soon, in about a week, and I've been watching some of your videos. I found out about you through the AMS lab that you did a while back. So I just had a couple clarification questions about, like, flirting and stuff.
Sure, go for it.
So, like, I know that you flirt to help draw out and build attraction, and I've been trying that method recently, and it's been working pretty well. But when you do that, how do you not come off as, like, a dancing monkey and trying to, like, please her too much? You know what I mean?
Well, what do you think you're doing that's pleasing her too much?
You know, just like being silly, teasing too much. Sometimes I wonder if that's like too much, and if I'm just validating her by doing that.
Well, it's hard to say if you are or not. I think the ultimate test to see if it's working, because maybe you're doing a great job at flirting. I can't say because I haven't seen you do it. The ultimate test is she agreeing to go home with you? Is she agreeing to give you her number? Is she agreeing to see you again? That's the ultimate test. I can't tell you if you're doing it right or wrong. So what's happening is...
Yeah, it seems to, like, depend on the girl. I kind of have to, like, scale it up or dial it back, and I have had some success, like, using that method, so I don't see any reason to change it, I guess. It's just, like, I was wondering if that would be something to worry about for the future.
It depends. I think if you want to get to the advanced level, which it sounds like you're getting to, is kind of calibrating and adapting to the situation. Sometimes it calls for more flirting. Sometimes you don't need it and it's overkill. Like, it all depends. So I would say continue trying to read the situation and empathize with the girl, meaning seeing how she's feeling in the interaction. If you think it calls for more, do more. If you think it calls for less, do less. Listen to your gut and your social intuition as you're doing it. And you know, the best way, like I always say, if you can't do coaching with someone like me, how do you coach yourself? You look at the results. You start doing things and experimenting with things, and if you see that it's working, great. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? But if you find that, you know, something seems off and girls aren't really that interested in you more, you got to change something. So whatever that may be, it's kind of depending on what you're doing. Maybe you do have to be a little bit more interesting in conversation. Maybe your questions are really boring. Maybe it seems like you're needy. Maybe you're over flirting, whatever it is. But if you're getting the results that you like, bro, don't worry about it. You're good.
Okay, that sounds great. Can I ask you one more question before I go?
Yes, please.
Okay, so yeah, I'm about to go to college soon, and I definitely want to, like, get into some more day game instead of just meeting people at events and stuff like I've been doing, like college day game. But how do you do that without, like, getting a bad reputation? Because I'm like, if I do, say, 3 approaches a day and I end up, like, bombing some, that could follow me around, you know?
Yeah, that's true. How big's the school?
About 10,000 people, I think. Not huge.
Okay, so it's a little bit on the smaller end. I think your chances are low, man. I mean, if you're approaching a lot of women and you're being really creepy about it, and you're not doing it in a way that's at least kind of, you're just being a social guy, then it could be weird. But I actually, as I'm saying this, I thought of an answer. If you want to avoid this, here's what you do. Don't do day game to hit on girls. Do day game to approach women to actually befriend them. Okay? So don't try to get their number. Don't try to like hook up with them or get their number. Hold on, let me rewind this. Don't go into the interaction with the intention to, take them out or hook up with them specifically. Instead, play it like a numbers game. Approach women, get them attracted and interested, and then invite them out to a party. So instead, you're just a guy who's meeting people and being social on campus. So hopefully, you're just doing it in this way, so it's not as creepy. It's not like this guy is going around and hitting on girls. You're not. You're saying like, hey, like you should come to, a party. You should come to the dorm. You should come hang out. So you should try to go to college, make a bunch of friends, create a social circle, and then go out meeting women to invite them to the social circle. This is more like social circle game, as they say. And then invite them out, and then that's where you can approach them in a sense where you're hitting on them, because it's not going to be as creepy, because it's not like you're going around campus like hitting on all these girls, So I say that's probably your best bet. Is you're just a social, fun guy. You're not trying to do anything right away or show your intentions right away. Just build a big social circle, and then once that's kind of built, then you can go for the girls in that social circle.
Okay, that makes sense. So, like you said, don't even get the number at first. Just
get the number, because you might not see her again. But don't get her number within the context of like, hey, I'm going to take you out. We're going to go on a date, or heavy flirting, where you might do that if you're just trying to go for that girl. I mean, you can still do that once in a while. I don't think it's the worst thing. Like once in a while, do that. But if you're afraid of like having a weird reputation of the guy who's just on the quad constantly approaching girls, just do it more in a friendly way, and less of I'm hitting on you way.
Okay, yeah, I get you.
A lot less flirting and more just being friendly.
Yeah, and then that, because it's more about like being social than like cold approach is what I've heard.
Exactly. It's still a cold approach, but more in just the fun,
yeah, I've been working on
way.
that because I'm like, it's a good skill to have, but eventually.
Exactly.
Probably when I'm a bit older.
Cool, man.
But yeah, I think that answers all my question. You got a great channel, man. Thanks for letting me call in.
Yeah, dude, awesome. It's cool that you found me. A lot of people are finding me through that interview, so it's cool to hear from some of you guys who've been watching other coaches and stuff. So welcome, and I hope this stuff works for you.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'll probably be calling back in later.
Cool, man. Sounds good. I do this every week. Good to hear from you.
All right, thanks. Have a good day.
Okay. There you go, my friends. That wraps up the session. Thank you, everyone. We've crossed the hour. This is all the time I have. I will be going live tomorrow again. We will do that, I think, around 6:30 Central, maybe 7. So stick around. You can come back. We can talk. We can answer questions. And, thanks for being here. Don't forget, coachbytripp.com if you need coaching. I'm here to help you. So apply today, and we will get you rolling. Guaranteed results. As long as you are excited and ready to make the change, we will do that. And then we'll help you become the person you want to be. Take care. Thanks so much. See ya tomorrow. All right? Bye, guys.